Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, bell notification, subscribe to the channel, like it, and comment down below to get that truth and information you've come to expect and deserve from this station on this 5th day of December, if we can believe this already, on a depressing, overcast, seasonably mild 39 degrees as the Bloomington Metropolitan Police are assisting a driver putting in his gas as the public servants that they are in the greater Midwest metropolitan area, right? And it's depressing because it's gloomy, overcast, and 39 degrees, working our way through the first week of December and meteorological winter, and there is no snow on the ground or in the immediate short-term forecast, so that is depressing. But as we get on with the update today, we're going to take a look at some stocks that we own, right, and that we buy. Rivion's one of them we own, and it had a huge pump back in the summertime of 2023. But the volume, it was just a localized pump. Like the Bitcoin price, now it's retraced, like the XRP price and the cryptocurrencies that pumped up. And what we're going to watch to pay attention for is if this could be a little bit of a rounding bottom right here, if that could be a rounding bottom, and maybe to get ready to go towards more of a bull market. Because if we take a quick look, I don't have that on this, the earnings for the past 4 quarters, they were deep into losing money. They just got a bunch of money from the United States government, and they're getting closer and closer to profitability. And I think by the end of 2024, even into the heart of inflation, supply chain problems, computer chips, and all that other kind of nonsense that goes into with building a vehicle, especially an electric vehicle, or any modern vehicle these days now, because they have so many computer chips on them. I think they're going to get close towards profitability. And I think as long as this stock is below $20, closer to $10, it's a very, very good buy for a long-term hold for the next 10 or 15 years, as I think Rivian is going to be a big-time player if the EV is going to stay around. I think that's a great one to speculate on, as I think it's going to be profitable in the future, and they're going to sell a product that people want, right? If we take a quick look at the gold market, gold actually hit $2,100, I believe, for the first time in its price's history. After, if we zoom out of this and go to a little bit zoomed out machine, we can see where we've been in the gold price, right? We hit that top during the big pump during COVID, then we had a big correction down, then we had a second run at a double top a year later in March of 2022, then we had another dump, right? Then we had another big run up in April of 23, then a consolidation, and then we briefly broke that triple top right there, now a quadruple top, and now we're coming back down to the moving averages, and what you would like to see is a positive retest of the moving averages in the daily time frame, and then have the momentum pick back up, and then breach the old high, and then you could be off to the races to $2,200 to $2,500. Because if we zoom back out into the monthly time frame, we do know what we've gone in the gold price is we were in one of the most bullish formations. That is what I want. You were in one of the most bullish formations that you could get in a technical chart right here. Let me get rid of that so the next time I zoom out, we don't have this big arrow up there. But you can see what we had here. If you give me 1 second, brief second, on the industry exclusive purchasing tool, we had our big run up, right? This is the 2008 financial collapse. You can see we had the initial dump, big dump. It was like a 55% dump. And then we had a big run up to the all-time high. Then after the big run up to the all-time high, we had a 58% consolidation, right? But you notice what happened here. We had this rounding bottom that was noticed. And then we had the COVID pump that came up, and that formed the cup. You see that? You come way up. You got that rounding bottom. You got your neckline. And then you get your handle right here. And that's very bullish, one of the most bullish macro formations you can get. And this was nearly a 17-year-long formation, or a 13-year-long formation, 2011 to 2023, going into 2024 right now. And the technical target on a breakout, you can see that's the cup, that's retest of the handle, comes back to the neckline, and then when you blow through the neckline, your technical target is all the way up here at about $3,500, and that's something that we're watching out for in the gold market. As we've been talking about that, we came on here on Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing about gold and silver going up, You can see silver is at $24. We own D2 Gold, which is at $3.20. We own 1,000 shares of D2 Gold. We own some shares of Newmont Mining. We own some shares of Kinross Gold 400. We own Pan American Silver, First Majestic Silver, Fortuna Silver. We have about 200 shares, and AEM. We own some of them. They've been on a big upturn, and our gold account was up to about $10,200 before yesterday's downturn. It's probably sitting at about $10,000, so it's doing good. And then what you're all here for, the daily update on the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology sphere. As you can see, the Shiba coin had a big pump. The XLM I do own 53 or 5,400 shares. Right now I buy $5 every day, and it's been doing that as long as it's below about 15 cents. My average price is 11 and change, because I've been buying it for about the last 5 months at $5 a day. So it's averaged in. I'm slightly up on the position, but you can see what you're trying to do here. If we zoom out into a tighter time frame to get more candlesticks, because candlesticks are data points, and we need data points to try to look at a chart. So the more data points, the more data there can be. But you can see what we're trying to do here, and the XLM prices. We got rejected after we had this big pump back with the big momentum of the judge. Came back to support. 200-day got rejected by 13 cents. Slipped to 200-day and came back to that critical 10.5 cents. Pump back up. Got rejected once and twice by that 13 cents major upper resistance. And now we're sitting at the moving averages, and there's a top here, so we're going to have to go down. But what you're going to do is you're going to pump off the moving averages right here and make a run back up and try to breach the 13 cents. We got to move things over. You can see how long it's been since we made videos. As I told you, the daily videos are coming back, and this is proof of it. Or if you break the downside, you're going to come down to this 10.5 cents. So major upper resistance to get very bullish in the short term, 13.5 cents to break. Major bearishness in the short term that could signify a much bigger fall if you break the 10.5 cents. And if we look at the XRP price, everybody loves the XRP price. You can see it's essentially in the same area that we were in yesterday when we were talking, and we told you that we came up with the judge, rejected. We got our overhead major 10-year overhead resistance where it came and got rejected perfectly, and then got rejected on the second time, right, coming up from the big support level down here at the uptrending green line where our big flash wick hit, where everything and everybody was all had hysteria and thought everything was going to zero. And then we had this nice rounding bottom that we noticed, and a big pump back up to the top part of the blue trading zone at about 69.69 cents. And then we had the secondary wick that touched beautifully and perfectly at the major 10-year overhead resistance, the blue, and it steadily gets lower and lower as the price action moves farther to the right, which is farther into the future, right? And when I would look here, if you want to get bullish, you got to break this 72 cents, and then you're majorly bullish, or you're going to fail to hold these moving averages and this 57, 58 cents, the bottom part of the blue trading zone, and you're going to come back down to this uptrending green line where you have your overhead resistance green line that's uptrending at the rising channel, and you need to hold this where you fall back down to that critical 37 cents. Like, subscribe, and share to the fastest growing, truth-based, and the most integrity in the cryptocurrency sphere. Like the whole growing of the audience.